Hi guys, welcome back. It seems really bright. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but okay. All right, Aquarius. We are doing what you need to know right now. Let me just move over a little bit more. I don't know why it's so much to the right, but I don't want to touch it because I'm not gonna lie. This ring light has taken a hit. It has seen things. It has gone through things. And I don't want it. It's starting to. It's not gonna last much longer. I'm positive. So I'm trying not to touch it because if I touch it, it's going to. The light's gonna turn off. Yeah. It's been through some things. It has. It's actually not that old. I've only had it for about, I don't know, 5 years. Is that too long to have a ring light? Either way, the connection to the power is like loosey goosey. So even if you move it all wrong, it's like it'll disconnect. And then my cats don't help, especially the baby. He's the only one that comes in and messes with shit. Anyway, what you need to know. Ooh, sacred play. Shut up. Sacred play. And then her eye ever open. You know what? I've never seen this one before. Well, I've never gotten this one before. Her eye ever open. Interesting. And then the inner queen. Shut up. Okay, you guys got Angel Kaliel and Polychrome Jasper. You got 444. And then you got Goddess Tara and Tibetan Quartz with 888. And at the bottom we got the Inner Queen with Goddess Persephone and Ruby with another 888. I feel like you guys are making a play. It feels like you have been playing a game of chess. And it's been with life. It's been with, I feel like it's been with, I lost what I was going to say. I think they want me to say this precisely. There have been a lot of light and dark energies coming at you, and there has been almost like a battle here going on. And there's been a lot of energies, both 3D and 5D that have come that have trying to been pulling at you, and have been trying to basically stifle or stop what's coming for you, right? But I feel like the energy right now that you're in, or the energy you're about to be in, right? And the plays that you're about to make in your life, in your business, in the decisions that you're making, it's all almost like a trifecta of the perfect storm for you to basically checkmate is what I'm getting, okay? And with the inner queen, I feel like you've reached, and this is feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. I feel like you guys have reached that pinnacle, and I just got really cold, which is confirmation for me. You've reached that pinnacle of trusting yourself, trusting divine, believing in your highest power, and finally, like heart, mind, and soul, they're all matched up. They're all lined up. It's almost like when the planets align for you, but for you, it's like when you've aligned. You've aligned, and now you have the power, and it's giving like D&D where it's giving D&D, but also like chess, like where you've put your opponent into a corner where no matter where it goes, you've got checkmate. And the only thing they can do is move back and forth, because you have them cornered. And it's not necessarily anything that you're doing to them. It's more of, no matter what they do, you're already 2 steps ahead of them, and you're going to, like, your outcome, it's done. They can't stop you at this point. And I feel like they've been trying hard. The opposition has been going at you hard, Aquarius, and they've been pulling at you, and they've been trying to stop you at every turn. And it did slow you down, but it didn't stop you, right? And then there were times where, yeah, it was difficult, and so you were allowing the energies, and not only allowing, I mean, like, when you are trying to climb a mountain and people keep adding rocks to your bag, that shit gets heavy as hell, right? I feel like right now is the pinnacle of you having released those stones, the mental clarity, the physical agility, whatever it is, right? It's all aligned for you, and you're about to checkmate everyone. And this is going to basically put you in a different level where they can no longer reach you here. Okay? With her eye ever open, you are seeing fully clearly. You are seeing clearly. It's that eyes wide shut, right? When you can see better with your eyes shut because you're seeing with your third eye than you can with your eyes actually open. Right now, your eyes are, they're eyes wide shut, right? You're using your full intuition. You're listening. You are in your full power. You trust yourself. You believe in yourself. It is absolutely beautiful. And this is going to get you checkmate. And this is going to move you into exactly where you've been trying to go and be. And listen, they don't show opposition for people that are not meant to do great things. Okay? If you're meant to go, people that have a higher calling are usually the ones that have the most opposition. Okay, so just know that if it was people, if it's taken longer than it should have, or you felt like it should have, if it's been even more difficult, if life has just been, yeah, it's because there was always opposition. And now you've healed, you've done a lot of the healing, you've done a lot of the work, you see clearly, and they can't stop you anymore. It might have taken a long time to get here, but now you're here, and they're not going to stop you. Right? There's nothing you can do. I feel like you are fully aligned to make this, whatever it is that you're trying to make, happen. How do you want this? Yeah, you're coming out of hermit mode. You've been in hermit mode for a long time. You went within. You looked at yourself. You looked at the ideas that have been placed there that were not yours. You took the time to look at the decisions that you've made. Look at the decisions that you made and the life that you've lived based off of everything that you've gone through. And I feel for a lot of you guys did go through a victim mentality phase, because I do feel like life was hard, but I feel like you went in and you saw, you know what, life has been hard for everybody, right? And the decisions that have been made are the ones that have been placed here. And for a lot of you guys, like I said, there has been opposition. So even when you wanted to make better decisions for yourself, it was very difficult because your bag seemed to be heavier and heavier and heavier, right? But I feel like you guys went hermit mode, and you guys have been there for a long time. You guys have been there for a while, if not a couple years. And you needed this time to do the inner work, to look within, to look at your beliefs, to look at the reasons why you've done certain things, the reasons why you've laid down, the reasons, the belief, the log in your eye, right? The trauma that you've had, and the bullshit that was yours and that wasn't yours. What you had to deal with, what you've had to actually, what you've held on to even though you didn't have to. Addictions, I'm hearing addictions, but like even addictions to being a martyr. Oh, my life is so hard. Yeah, absolutely, life is hard, but we can always choose to lay down, or we can choose to get the fuck back up, right? And I feel like you guys are coming out of that, and you guys are coming out fully in armor, right? You guys are ready. You guys are coming out prepared. You guys went in and basically like drew a plan where you were like, nah, this is what we're doing, and that's that, right? You weren't seeing clearly with the Ace of Swords in reverse. You couldn't see things clear. You felt like you didn't have the information that you needed, and um and it felt like a lot of it was being hidden from you. Like you didn't understand what was happening. You didn't understand, and no matter how much information you tried to get, how much information you tried to go after, you couldn't see clear, and you still went in and you still created a. You weren't being shown clearly, but your intuition, they were still guiding you intuitively, right? Like I said, I'm just seeing somebody in like a cave. Cat hair. I'm seeing somebody in like a cave that is sitting there meditating. And they're not showing you a bunch of the plans, but they're saying, look, this and this, if you go right, if you go left, it's almost like you had somebody in your ear, right? Which you did. And they're saying, almost like guiding you with your eyes shut because you couldn't see clear. You couldn't see. You couldn't see with your eyes open. So you were having to use your third eye. I'm getting those like movies where they're like, okay, I'm going to guide you. Because they could see clearly, but you couldn't see. Even like, you could see maybe 2 steps in front of you. So they were like, make a right, and you listened. Make a left, and you listened. And it feels like you finally reached, and you trusted. You trusted divine, you trusted the universe, you trusted God. And because of that, you've reached the pinnacle where now you're actually starting to see everything, and you still don't need to open your eyes. You've learned those senses because your eyes weren't doing what the universe needed you to do was fully trust in your intuition. The universe needed you to be like, you know what, you're not going to use your eyes. We need you to evolve and accentuate your other senses, which is your intuition, right, Aquarius? With the Queen of Cups in reverse, it felt like everything, the situations that you were always in were very one-sided. There was a lot of manipulation towards you, and you weren't seeing it because you were trying to see it with your eyes. Again, with your eyes, they needed you to to practice your intuition. They needed you to practice your discernment, because I feel like even though you had those gifts and they were powerful, you didn't understand, or you weren't understanding. There was a confusion of what you could see and of what you were feeling. There was a difference between fear and intuition, and you couldn't discern that. And your gifts were so strong that I feel like they actually, what happens when you go, let's say, to a range, right? A pew pew range, right? And you don't know how to. You suck. You suck. You're not great at it, right? You just kind of, you don't know. What happens when you practice? You get better and better and better and better at it, right? You get great at it. And that's what happened. That's what the universe needed you to do. So they put you in a hole, basically, like, I think physically. For a lot of you guys did go hermit mode. It doesn't mean like you never left your house. For some of you guys, that could be the case. But I feel like you guys would go to work and then come home, and then you'd be in hermit mode. And it felt like nothing was moving outside of you. That's because the universe was like, you're in class. We need you to have your intuition stronger than your eyes, your ears, even your brain and your heart. We need your intuition to be the #1 thing that you work with, and we need you to practice this. Because there was enemies around that you weren't seeing, and you couldn't see with the plain eyes, right? This was people that were attacking you from energetically. They weren't right next to you. There was things that were pulling you down from, that weren't even on the 3D realm, right? There was people that were coming into your life and they looked good on paper, but really on the inside they were rotten. And because your eyes and your intuition weren't matching, it does seem like you took a hit, right? You took a hit. So the universe was like, no, we need your intuition to be stronger than any other of your senses. Yes, your senses are going to work. They're there for you, but once your intuition is in place, you put everything together and you work in tandem, right? Your intuition is first. I can't see anything, but something is off here, so I'm going to listen to my intuition because I don't give a fuck that my eyes are telling me no, and my brain is telling me I don't see it. My intuition, which is first brain, is saying, hey, get the fuck out of there, right? Yeah. And you were unfortunately, it was easier to manipulate you because it wasn't easier, but people were able to manipulate you because, again, you were questioning your senses. You weren't fully trusting yourself, and you hadn't mastered your intuition, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, nothing was working out. Nothing would grow. Nothing. You couldn't work towards your life. It didn't matter what you did, what trees you planted, what seeds you planted. It didn't matter what you did. Nothing would work because everybody that was coming in, you weren't following your intuition. And I feel like I can see you. Like, I just saw 1616. I don't know what that means. Look it up. I just saw 1616, but I feel like a lot of times your intuition was warning you, but because you weren't seeing any dangers and people were nice and all of this, and right, and they were like helpful at the beginning, and at the end of the day you would end up getting hurt. And I feel like this wasn't one situation, this was a repetitive cycle. And the universe was like, yo, like, you're very powerful, but you're not, we need you to do this. We need you to go within, and we need you to start seeing with your eyes wide shut and listen to that before you listen to any of your other senses, because you want the Ten of Pentacles. You're meant to have the Ten of Pentacles. You're meant to have the happy family. You're meant to have the happy career, the career that you're meant to be. You're meant to be on your divine path, and we're trying to get you there. I just saw 1717. We're trying to get you there, but unless you learn how to discern and you become a master of that, anything that you're given will be taken away because you have not mastered your discernment yet. You're still trying to see with your eyes when your eyes are not these. Your eyes are this, and it's your intuition, right? And then it's the heart, and then the brain, and then we add in everything else, right? The visuals, everything else. I remember I was watching the other day Bailey Sarian, who I love. And she was doing one of her stories, and she was talking about a girl that she had hitchhiked with a couple, a man and a woman, and a child, and she went to the restroom when they stopped for gas, and her intuition was like, run. What did she do? She went right back to the car. And what happened? Some fucked up shit. Like that, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Because they were both in on it, right? And this was like, yeah, no, it was not, no. And then you were dealing with a lot of people that were treated you badly, honestly, treated you badly, and they wanted you to not trust yourself. They wanted you to not trust yourself because if you don't trust yourself, then they can continue to take from you. They can continue to, people when they see, it's crazy how people can actually see other people, how powerful they are, whilst us, as when we're growing, when we're trying to heal, we don't see that. People that like have like narcissistic tendencies, and they can see our glory, our greatness, while even before we can see it. And that's when they try to catch people, because they're like, this person has power and I'm going to try to siphon from them, and I'm going to try to destiny swap with them, because they don't know what they are and they don't know what they have yet, right? And it's not until you realize what other people see and you realize who you truly are that things start to change. And I feel like you're at that precipice where you have fully realized who the fuck you are, and everything is in sync, and you are about to hit checkmate on everything and everyone that has been trying to pull you back, and you're about to align with your life path. And once you hit that, they can't pull you down anymore. That's not to say you're not going to get lessons. Of course, where you're going to continue growing and having lessons till the end of times, right? And if you're, somebody that's meant to come here over and over again, then you're going to continue and continue and continue. But the access to you will be, it'll take, yes, if you know what I'm talking about, okay? Yeah, birds of a wire. A lot of people gossiping about you, a lot of people talking about you, and people that don't even know you. They just assume, and people that would come in and try to be your friend and then go back and because they were jealous. Some of them were jealous. Other of them, they knew that taking down your self-esteem would help you take you out of your character. And if you don't have self-esteem, how can you be on your throne? Your inner queen is not going to come out. You're not going to see yourself as inner queen. You're going to have the worst thoughts about you, right? There's been a lot of untrust where I feel like almost everybody that you've met has backstabbed you, has been untrustworthy, has talked about you, has gossiped about you, has been manipulative, talked behind your back, even when you were trying to help them, which is asinine, but okay, whatever. People, okay. And that was meant, those were attacks on you. Those were attacks to stop you from seeing who you truly are. Because you are meant to do great things. And if they can stop even one person that's meant to do something great here and come and change the energy of this world, then they've succeeded at least with one great person, right? With dominoes, there you have been planning, you have been strategic, but I don't even think you know that you've been strategic. You have just been laying low, and it's almost like you've been hiding, almost like I said, it's almost like you lost all your pieces on the checkboard or the chessboard, and it's because you were strategizing. You knew what you were doing. And you thought you were losing, but really you were just setting up the stage, right? You've been gaining momentum. You didn't have the energy. You didn't have the mental space. And this is why you were in hermit mode. You didn't have the energy that you needed to beat the final boss, right, of this level. And it's a big one. This is a big boss in this level. You didn't have it, and now you're starting to gain momentum. And now everything is aligning, like I said. It's like when the planets align, it's when the stars align, right? And this is bringing progress, and you're going to execute your plan, and boom, everything's going to change, and it's going to start a chain reaction. You think it's just one move. It's not one move. It's literally just dropping the domino, and it's going to just set it all off, and things are never going to be the same for you, right? It's a butterfly effect. And I feel like you've been setting up the dominoes this whole time, and you were bored thinking that you were just setting up dominoes. You were bored because you were like, oh, this is repetitive. Nothing's moving in my life. Nothing's going on. Little do you know, you were setting up the stage for the final countdown. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, so you're taking a leap of faith. There's going to be a quick change in direction. I'm telling you. It's going to be quick. It's going to be literally checkmate. And then the dominoes are gonna fall. And you're going to change directions like this. You're going to be moving on. There's going to be so much luck here and prosperity. I feel like somebody or some things were trying to a destiny swap with you and get you to not see your light, so you couldn't come into, one, your prosperity, to into your life path, because you're meant to do something great. You could also be having you could also be having a son a little bit later in life. This could be with somebody that you meet, who you're meant to meet once you've broken this, once you've changed this direction. Like I said, that domino is going to, like, you're bored and doing nothing one day, and you're continuing to do your work and continuing and setting up the dominoes, and then one day all of a sudden it's tick and everything falls, and boom, money, love, traveling, everything you've ever wanted, and you're gonna be on your life path doing what you came here to do, right? And it's all going to be because you've been strategizing and you've been doing everything you needed to do while you knew you were or you weren't, right? Yeah. Let's get one more. Actually, I think that's good. That's clarifying the Ten of Pentacles with the birth of a son. Yeah. So what now? What's going to happen after that? Everything's going to happen after that. Everything is going to happen after that. It's crazy, Aquarius. It's crazy. You just have to continue to set up the dominoes until that one last domino, it's going to fall over, and then all of a sudden everything changes. I wonder what will happen next. What did I just say? So what? What next? Didn't I just say that? Ready to adventure. Precipice of change. Pause before action. Shut up. Oh my God. Curiouser and curiouser. Discovery, inquiry, weirdness, curiosity. Yes, Aquarius, this is beautiful. Yes, yes, and it's all because you trusted yourself, and even the moments where you wanted to lose faith and you wanted to quit, and I'm sure you did for a day or two, and then you're like, you know what, bitch, get up. Like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Let's push forward, even though it hurts and nobody else believes in you. You believed in yourself. Okay, Aquarius? Alright, I'm going to leave it here. I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys soon.